when you buy a house, you want to make sure it doesn't fall over the day after you close. So today we're going to talk about inspections. Stay tuned. Which is actually a good thing because I have massive claustrophobia. Hi, I'm Vito Scarnecchio with Abitano Real Estate, and today we're going to talk about inspections. When you're buying a house, we want to make sure you're completely protected and aware of what you're buying. So we have inspections done on the property, and we do a couple other things. And today, what we're going to do is a little walk through a house, show you the different things that I'm looking for. And when you're looking at a house, you have to actually look through the house and take a look and make sure you know what you're buying, as well as have professional inspectors do it. Again, we don't want your house to fall over the day after you close on it. So if you look at the link down below, there's a free checklist you can download, and you can take this to any house that you look at, and it talks about most everything, not everything specific, and you'll be able to go through each room and know what you're looking for. In San Jose, we have to do this thing called an AVID, or an agent visual inspection disclosure. And this inspection is, again, it's a superficial inspection. It doesn't go inside the walls. I don't have to go underneath the floors or into the attic, which is actually a good thing because I have massive claustrophobia. But I look for specific things. And today what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go room to room and show you the different things that I specifically look for. All right, let's get going. All right, so we're doing a quick outside look here. And the first thing that comes to mind that's evident to me is that this is a southerly facing wall, and the wall is, the paint needs to be redone, sanded down and redone. What I typically look at from the outside is underneath the eaves. I'm looking for wood rot underneath. And I have inspected this house already, so if you look, there's a little bit of heat damage right there from the roof. Again, that's not a big deal. Typically what you want to look for is right around here to see any kind of damage, and you don't see any damage here, which is good. There's one thing here that's kind of odd and out of place. There's an extra piece of plywood over the siding, so I think that was done by whoever replaced this gas meter. And then if you look up here, right here, all the way through, you see a crack right here between the brick and the wood trim, and that's moisture can get in there and cause damage. But that's an easy fix. There's nothing really bad about that. And if you look at the driveway here, you see there's minor cracks. And the thing about cement is you're always going to get cracks. And this one's so small, what you're looking for is something that can trip people, and that's not enough to trip people. And then over here again, this crack right here is a little bit more evident, and you can see somebody tried to caulk it before. The last time they painted this, it looks like they just painted it and not really did a good job of caulking it. There's a couple broken bricks up there, but that's just superficial. It's not structural. It's nothing to worry about. All right, so the next thing is looking for the driveway, looking at, or the pathway here. You want to look for cracks, big tripping hazards. There's nothing really bad here. And then I'm always looking at the corners because that's where a lot of cracks happen. Again, this isn't an issue. Something easily done with the $5 tube of caulking. And then I'm looking at the eaves again. You see there's some sun damage here. Right here, see, that's not a big issue at all. This house is in really good shape. Right here, this is something that needs to be looked at. You can do the cement, or what I do is I just throw a tube of caulking on that as well before it gets painted. And right now I'm looking around the windowsill to make sure that there's no evidence of seepage. or any cracks that would show an issue, which I don't see. Looking at the door, you want to make sure that the door opens and closes smoothly. And when you go to lock it, you want to make sure that it locks smoothly as well. All right, so we're inside. I'm going to take a quick look at the living room. And what I'm doing right now is looking around the windows. You see how there's like a little bit of a line right here? That is just settling, but what that is two pieces of drywall meeting together with the drywall tape, and over time it settles. But since this house is like 50 years old, it hasn't been an issue. This house, I've looked at it before. There's a little smudge right there. And again right here, there's a little crack where the two pieces of drywall meet. But it's not a crack, it's just the drywall tape folding up on itself. And while I walk around, I also make sure to look and feel for uneven floor or something that would make it like a marble roll or a pen or something. Bay windows can also be an issue if it's not done correctly. And what I'm looking for here is any evidence of water intrusion all around here. Again, this is something that a professional property inspector would look for. Here you can see that there is some wood damage or water damage here, but that's just from probably plants that they had. So that's not a big deal at all. And then looking at this really nice slider here in the dining room, what I'm looking for is ease of movement. Might be loud, but it still works really well. And I want to make sure that it closes and locks and secures right. So that's good and safe. All right, back to this living room. I did notice in my original inspection, these lights are a little loose. See, that's not good. That's no bueno. That needs to be fixed. But what I would do, I'd honestly just replace that with another fan, because spending time and energy to find those replacement lights are going to be more painful than just replacing the whole thing. And honestly, it's not secured correctly. You can see there's a gap between the ceiling and the cap. That's not really correct either. So I would bring it and put maybe a 6 or 8 inch hole down there and hang it correctly. So seeing that there's a smoke detector there, that's good. I'm gonna go into the kitchen real quick, see if I can turn on the light. Get the light turned on. This has a pocket door. Pocket doors, if you don't have one, are notorious for sticking and not riding correctly. This one's done right. And then I want to make sure that everything looks good and looks secure. Make sure that the drawers and doors open correctly. Alright. And then I'm also going to look underneath the dishwasher to see if there's any evidence. Underneath the dishwasher, see if there's any evidence of water leakage there. There's a small crack there. That's normal. And then I look underneath the sink to look for any kind of water intrusion there, any kind of pest infestation, and I don't see anything. It looks really healthy. The only thing that I would call out is that it needs a plate where the socket is. That's a fire hazard. But for the most part, I think it looks pretty healthy in there. And then look in there, there's a little broken piece of cover tape. That's easy done with double-sided tape or some glue. The oven's clean. Alright, see, the cabinets look really nice. Okay, so this fridge is fairly old, but what I'm looking for is evidence of frost. I want to make sure it feels cold. good. And with any kind of appliance, when we help people buy a house, we make sure that you have a home warranty. And regardless if the seller pays for it or not, you're gonna have a home warranty for the first year. And if an appliance breaks, the heater, what have you, even if the toilet breaks or the bathtub starts to leak, these guys will come out for $75 and fix it. So it's kind of good. This looks like it's pretty new. But what I'm looking for here are cracks. Like you can see a crack right here in the grout. That should be caulked up. And right here, it looks like the caulking is a little old. But for the most part, the caulking looks like it's in really good shape. I just nudged the toilet. This is something you might want to do at your own home. You just take the side of your leg and see if it wobbles. It looks like it's secured, and that's actually a good thing to have. So I'm gonna look under here for water. It looks good, looks nice and safe. All right, the bathroom's good. I'm gonna go into the master bedroom right now. Take a quick look. There's another slider. I'm gonna go really quickly and look for anything that I have to be worried about. There's the attic access, so I'll note that. The buyers. Looks like it's pretty good condition there. All right, this is out of the 16 years that I've been selling houses. This is the second house that's had a sunken shower. So this one needs to be repaired here. You see there's like a little crack right here, but it goes all the way down the frame of it, of the shower area. Right there, you see. And that's something to keep an eye on, not necessarily worry too much. And then I'm looking here to see if there's any evidence of leakage here around the faucet and the knobs. That kind of thing looks pretty good. I'm gonna check the toilet. See, oh, there you go. Something to fix. And this is really easy. There's two little nuts on the side there. And it just needs to be tightened up a little bit. All right. So that's pretty much it for the master. I'm gonna check the slider to make sure it's secured. A nice little courtyard that you can look at. And if you wanted to, you can put a little hot tub here, a little hangout area. You want to get away from the kids and hang out with your husband or wife. Secure in that, nice and tight. Looks good. So, quickly look up and down. I know this isn't the best video because of lighting, kind of sad, but you get an idea of what I'm looking for. Right here, this is an indicator that the house isn't grounded properly. Even if you see outlets with 3 prongs, it might not be completely, it might just have been replaced at one time. So that's something to consider eventually, is to upgrade your electrical panel. It's a linen closet, lots of storage, all those blankets, sheets. Right. And this is one of the bedrooms. What I'm looking for again is evidence of cracks and water seepage. I don't really see anything here. Let's see, nothing really bad there, so that's good. This is missing a closet door, and it's funny, it's like almost every house I look at has a missing closet sliding door. Not a bad thing, it's just something that you have to get around to. But I think what it is kids don't like to have their closet doors closed, so. Here's the electrical panel, and you want to take a look at this. It's a pretty old panel. What's going to have to happen is eventually, once they redo their kitchen, they're going to have to upgrade their panel. There's only, there's three 3 bays available. They could probably use it and double it up and work it, but eventually it's going to have to get upgraded. But that's the typical 110 panel. Okay, so one thing here I noticed when I first saw this house is, see where the stucco goes into the ground? Almost all the houses here in San Jose are built like this, and it's a big issue because when the ground is hitting the stucco, then water moisture will seep up into the stucco and eventually into the wood structure, and it allows termites and other pests to infiltrate through the stucco. So what's supposed to happen, what you see in the newer houses, is 6 to 8 inches above the soil line is foundation here, and then the stucco starts, and then they have a drip system underneath, which is just an L bracket, looks like that, with little holes in it, so that it's called drip screed, and it lets moisture escape out the back or at the bottom. There's a nice little crack right there. Not much to worry about there. Okay, so again, I'm going to go look at the eaves. It looks really good, really healthy. This one's missing about an inch to the gutter. It's not a big deal, but something to keep an eye on eventually. All right. Okay, sorry, I'm working with this gimbal, it's brand new. Now I'm going to take a quick look at the fence, which I knew. If you look at this fence right here, it looks really nice until you actually get a little closer to it. Then you can see 3 or 4 posts are starting to bow to the neighbor's house, and that's an issue. So I already have that getting fixed once they close, but it's just something to be aware of. And you look at the lawn, it looks nice and healthy. It's been mowed since the family owners left, which is okay. Now this is something you have to be aware of. Kind of have to look at the roof yourself to see what it looks like and make a judgment call on yourself. We actually had a roof inspector come out here and tell us that there's 3 to 5 years left on this roof, but if you look at it, it looks really healthy. I'm not a roof guy, but I've replaced many roofs, and to me this looks okay. There's a couple little waves, but that's just the underneath the roof. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I haven't been up on the roof, so I can't really tell you exactly what's happening. So again, you see there's moisture coming in all around through here, which is eventually something that you're going to have to talk to. When the house is 50 or 60 years old, it's probably not going to be an issue, but when you do see an issue, like right here, you see this gutter coming down? See, there's a gutter coming down right here. This water comes from the roof and it escapes and it goes right here. So what could happen is it goes underneath the foundation and makes a hollow spot, and then eventually, so the water will erode the foundation and go lower here and start doing cracks in the walls and the foundation, and your floor will be uneven. So what you need to do is you got to get a little tube. It goes, you can do it underneath the ground or you can do it above the ground, it doesn't matter, but a little tube that goes 6 to 8 feet away from the foundation, from the house. So there you go. One thing else to notice is this side of the house doesn't have a gutter. For some reason, it's got the roofing for it, it's got the flashing for it if you look inside, but it needs to have a gutter there somehow. And I don't know why they did it. Maybe it was just bad and they didn't want to replace it. It's not something for me to judge. It's just something I have to point out. All right, well, that was pretty much it. Hope this was informative and helpful for you. If you have any questions about buying a house or inspections, give me a call. Remember, when you buy a house, you have the right and duty to do your own inspection. Your agent has to do an inspection, but you can also get a property inspector and a pest inspector to come by and take a look and give you their opinions. And if there's other cause or concern, you can have a roof inspector come out, or a foundation inspector, even a chimney inspector, a pool inspector. Those guys are there to give their honest opinion on the condition of whatever it is they're inspecting and how much it would cost to repair it or replace it. So again, hope this was helpful. I'm Vitos Carnecchia, Abitano Real Estate. We'll see you out there.